So a life of habitual sin. A seventh entry point would be inviting a demon into your life. Seems to be a crazy notion. One of the exorcisms that I did in the Archdiocese of Indianapolis was a person who told me that they believed that a friend of theirs was possessed. So they went up to their friend, looked him in the eye, and said, "What's ever in you, I freely invite to come into me." Misguided sense of charity. And no sooner did the words come out of her mouth that she said something came over her. For 12 years, she exhibited demonic manifestations. When she made her way to the church, working with her, there were 7 demons that named themselves in her. Whenever somebody is genuinely possessed, there's usually a cluster of demons, and there's a hierarchy. One's always more powerful than others. When the angels fell, they fell from all 9 choirs. And so there is a hierarchy within the demonic world. And if you recall the gospel accounts of people that are possessed, they always go back from, what do you have to do with us? Us. I know who you are. See, that goes from the singular to the plural. Again, when somebody is possessed, it's usually not a question of one demon, but multiple demons. And the most powerful demon is the last to go. So this particular demon told me its name was Leviathan, and that it wasn't going anywhere because it had been invited in. And since it had been invited in, it was making a claim on the life of this person. But again, using the prayers of the church, commanded the demon to return that which it had stolen, namely a person created in the image and likeness of God, who was now seeking to restore their life to God. In this particular account, I worked with this person for over a year. The very last meeting before the demon was cast out, we're in southern Indiana in a convent chapel. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A good hour, isn't it? 3 o'clock, school bell rings. 400 school children are now pouring out into the parking lot right outside of the chapel window where we're praying. The demon begins to scream, begins to laugh uncontrollably, and says to me, "Stop praying. If you stop praying, I will stop screaming. But if you keep praying, I will keep screaming, because people will hear the screams. They're going to come in here and see what you're doing, and then you're going to have to stop anyway." And then I told the demon to obey me in all things, although an unworthy minister of Christ, to say the words, "Hail Mary, full of grace," and to leave immediately. The demon looked at me and laughed and said, "Grace of full," scrambled the words, would not say the name of our Blessed Mother, and then began to mock me. And then I commanded it to say the words in the order that I told it to say it again, and to leave immediately. This demon that had been speaking in this very deep, authoritative voice, then in a child's voice said, "Hail Mary, full of grace." There was a shriek, and all the manifestations ended quicker than you can snap your fingers. So she was set free. People ask me, what did I do afterwards? Did I do a holy hour? Did I pray the rosary? What did I do? I went to Dairy Queen and had a chocolate shake. It was hot outside. I was drenched in sweat. I was tired. I had a 2-hour drive back to my parish. I walked into Dairy Queen. The place was packed. All kinds of people at the counter. And I said to myself, if these people knew where I just came from, I would be like Moses parting the Red Sea. They would get as far away from me as they could. I also think that would be a great commercial for Dairy Queen, by the way. But